we are discussing a role of a wife. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. When I read this verse preparing, and I'm like, am I a favor for the Lord for my husband? Can he say that about me? Can he be proud of that? Am I blessing him? Am I a blessing in his life? And that convicted me, like, can he say that about me? If God says that if I'm a good wife, I'm a favor to my husband. And then Proverbs 31:10 says, a wife of noble character, who can find her? She is worth far more than rubies. What does noble mean? I looked at other translations, and noble means excellent. Excellent. It's a high standard. Like, God, how can you ask us so high? How can you ask us to be a noble character? Excellent wife, virtuous wife. Yes, it's having high standards, but putting God above all. If we put him above all, he will help us be excellent for our husband. He knew who he trusted us with. He trusted us with our family, with our husband. For some reason, I married that man, not maybe even somebody I liked before or somebody liked me before. God chose me to be chosen for this husband. And girls, we'd also choose. We could have said no, right? But we chose our husbands. Yes, so a lot of people, years ago at my women's ministry, we did at Proverbs 31, a whole chapter for a couple weeks. And some women did not like it at all. They're like, this is not attainable. Does not happen. This is just like a example. Yes, she might be an example. Maybe we're not going to be shipping our materials on the ships, or be a businesswoman and not sleep till midnight and still get up when sun rises. But God does give us these standards, high standards. The wife of noble character is a top-level goal, something we should strive for. Even if we can't do everything Proverbs 31 talks about, we can strive for it. Every day we're getting better. Every day we're growing in Christ, and every day we serve our husbands better. We serve our kids better if we have them. So yes, we know the perfection might be a little bit too hard to be this excellent wife, but it is attainable when we try. But without him, without God, and his help and his guidance, we will never achieve it. We spoke about this already, the prayer, relying on God. So everything will fall in place when God is in every sphere of our life. There's a quote, you guys heard, happy wife, happy life? Do you guys like it or not like it? Yeah. Well, I don't like this one. And whenever my friends would use this, I did disagree with it. Because who makes us happy? Who's responsible to make us happy? It's our choice. Yes. So I really dislike that, happy wife, happy life. No, we are responsible of making ourselves happy. If I'm joyful and happy, how do I attain that? Reading the word, the quiet place with Jesus. It might be in the morning. If you're a morning person, please get up before the kids. I'm not. But I find my time other ways. When kids go to school, or did go to school, and I was able to, the times I was able to be home and work from home, like right now I am, I take that time when they're off of school, and that's when I have my quiet time. Or when they were very little, I would have my quiet time at night. I would breastfeed my daughter, have a Bible, have some kind of spiritual book with me. We find, and we make ourselves happy. Our husbands are not responsible to make us happy. So that's not a godly quote. I don't agree with it. And the most incredible way we can minister to our husband is pray over him. The same book I talked about parenting, there's a same book I have about praying over your husband. I do not use that book very often. But I did pray over my husband. I don't maybe go through all those prayers like I do for my kids, because I know my kids need them so much more prayers than my husband, but they do need our husbands need to. And if we pray for our husbands over his eyes, over temptations, if they work somewhere else, we bless them where they are at. This is the best thing how we can serve our husband. And I made, I believe, 6 or 7 points, 6 points of what I think, what is our role. So this is not popular, but because everybody always goes to number 1, respect. I'm gonna put number 2, respect. I put love in number 1. For some reason, people always say, oh, God told us to respect our husband. But there is a verse in the New Testament that talks about us loving. Titus 2:4. Paul is writing to Titus to tell him what elder women in church should do. And the 4 says, then they can urge the younger women to love their husbands and children. Were any of us asked before marriage or even at the altar, do you love this man? Would a single pastor marry us in the ceremony and bless us if we said no? No. Because we choose to love our husband, and we agree to be in this committed relationship with him. So I put number 1. Number 2, then I did put respect. Yes, Ephesians 5:33. Let the wife see that she respects her husband. My husband needs and deserves my respect. Does he feel respected? Would he say that we respect him? Like it's something we can check ourselves. How do I talk to him? The way we talk to our husbands, he will know, do we respect him or not? How do I talk about him, especially in front of children? If when Tato's at work, well, we call him Tato. When their daddy is at work, how do we talk about him? If he's late from work and my daughter asks, where's Tato again? I can put him down. Oh, he doesn't care about us. He's always working. Or I can say he's trying to make money for us, because my husband does work full-time job. He's trying to make sure we can pay our bills. And then, of course, in front of our friends, how do we discuss our husbands when we have girls' night out or women's ministry or something? He might never hear what we say about him, but people around us will know, do we respect our husbands or we put him down? Proverbs 31:26, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. Are we kind when we speak to our husbands? Never talk down to him. Again, instead of children or anyone else. And having difficult conversations in private, like we talked about. And most time, it's not what I say, but how I say it. You can be really rude and disrespectful, or we can be like the Proverbs wife, kindness. We can discuss the most difficult situation and conflict if we keep our cool, we have patience. It's not easy. Our hormones go crazy all month long. It's not easy, and I work on myself to this day. We always have to work on it, but it is how we say it. And how we say it to our husbands, they will receive it, and they will have, they will open, and they will hear us better. If we use a rude, bad voice, the right away they're gonna be shut. That's it. Our conversation is gonna be over with them. Just be how we say it. So talk to him in a respectful, loving way. Proverbs 15:4. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. So we have to be wise before we speak anything. We don't want to crush his spirit. Somebody might say, oh, that's just how I am. That's my character. I'm strong-willed. That's a lie of a devil. We are, as born-again Christians, we have self-control, which is a fruit of the Spirit. If we see God, he will help us control our maybe very bossy character. My mom was that way. My mom was very strong-willed. I'm not. But you have to. That's where self-control comes in. Self-control comes in, and we treat our husbands with kindness. We watch what we say and how we say it. That's what they need with us. Number 3, support. There's another, but it's a good quote. Behind every good husband stands a good wife. Does he have my full support? Like we talked earlier in somebody's life about moving. His parenting decisions, his career choices, vision in ministry when he decides to move, or remodeling, or buy a new car. Are we going to support him or are we going to stay in his way? What we can do is encourage him his best. We discuss, we encourage. There's another very ungodly example that people like to use. Head and neck example. I don't like that example. Because the example goes this way. A wife is a neck, she turns the head where she wants to go. No. How is our body? How did God make our body? What is our neck doing? The neck is supporting the head. So we are there to support our husband. And this is, how else do we support? We support even the husbands who are falling away or not, or we think he's not in the right place, where we think he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. This is where prayer comes in. We still support him. We don't turn, as a neck, we don't turn where we want to go. We still support him. But if he steps out of the way, we bring that to God. And he takes care of him. And when prayer comes, it brings on breakthrough. Number 4. Believing in him. And we talked a little bit before about this. Like that my husband said, that's what he wants the most. How do we show if we believe him? We like to criticize. We like to see, and we try to help him, right? We're not doing it because we don't love him. We're criticizing because we do love him, and we want him to be better, or we want him to act a certain way in front of people, or with our kids. Oh, honey, you did wrong this. Oh, honey, didn't. But don't over-criticize, because if we do that, he is not going to think we believe in him. Do I believe his ideas and goals? Proverbs 31:11-12. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will not lack anything good. She rewards him with good, not evil, all the days of her life. Trust in her. Does my husband trust me? Can he share his deepest worries with me? Can he open his heart? Maybe he's worried about finances. Maybe something's going on with his job. Is he going to share with me? Does he trust me to be there? Or am I going to say, oh, come on, you're a man up. Like, come on, like I have enough things to worry about. Or can he share his heart with us as loving wives? Is my husband eager to come home? Is our house so tense that he just wants to stay longer at work? Or does he run to me? And we had that when I would be like going crazy, like hormones and stuff. He's like, Alena, if you want to be this way, I just want to stay at work longer. And I felt so convicted. I'm like, I want my husband to run home to me. I don't want him to stay longer at work because I'm cranky at home. And that convicted me, and I'm working on myself. Does he dread coming home because we're going to be nagging him, or you didn't finish this again, you didn't do this, you're always working, we need basement fixed? We can do that. And not because we don't love, because we want our house to look nice, right? But that's me, my basement's not finished. How do I act towards my husband? And can he trust me? Number 5, submissive. Husband and I are equal in the eyes of God, like we read today. But we have different roles. And it's a privilege to be wives. Like God, I feel like I said earlier, I'm privileged to be under that umbrella. I'm under 2 coverings. I'm under God, and I'm under my husband. It's a privilege not to make difficult decisions. It's a privilege to be protected by somebody and taken care of by someone. He's a leader, a priest of our household. When my husband is under the authority of God, I need to submit him. It's a little bit changes when things are not, Christian. Husband's not Christian, wife not Christian. Things a little bit change. But if we have a Christian husband, we trust God. We submit to our husband. Colossians 3:18, wives, submit to your husbands as fitting in the Lord. The Lord wants us to submit, and we submit to our husbands. Because if we want to serve God, we will submit to him. And again, not if he asks something unbiblical. But if our husband's under the authority of God, we fall under his authority. And it's a privilege, guys. I'm telling you, try it. It's a privilege to not take all that on us. We have enough. We have enough. We have kids. We have house. We have, some of us have jobs. We have enough. Why even take more on ourselves? Let him take care of it. And the number 6, and we can stop on this a little bit longer the most, is our inner beauty. Yes, our role of a wife is to have that inner beauty. 1 Peter 3:3, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, you should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. God wants to see us this way, not just our husband. Our husband will appreciate when we're like this, but God wants to see us this way, a gentle and quiet spirit. Again, yes, our characters are different. Some of us are very quiet, some of us are very loud, some of us are very friendly, but the inner beauty does have that. You can be loud, but you can be still gentle. You can be fun and outspoken, but you can still be gentle. And when we need to, we can be quiet. And we can let our husband speak, we can have our minister speak, or we know. So yes, it does not mean we don't need to make ourselves look good. We try to look good. We do our hair, we dress up, we take care of ourselves. But my main source of beauty comes from inside. My character, how I act, how I treat my husband, how I talk to him, all those things fall under inner beauty. And now we can go to the beauty. Am I making effort to look best for my husband? We need to have balance, right? A lot of Christian ladies, well, not of you, you all look so pretty, we fall into the comfort zone. And some girls think, oh, I married a Christian man, forget it. Who cares about diet? Who cares about exercise? Who cares about washing your hair more than once a week? He will love me how I am with my ponytail and my dirty hair. No. He needs to come home to us and us look presentable. Not makeup on every day. I don't. I sure don't. I work from home. I don't. But we need to be presentable. My husband has to be still attracted to me, right? Temptation is everywhere, especially for them. They see with their eyes more than we do, right? We fall in love with sometimes of how he acted towards us, yeah? Like, yes, it's good to be attracted to your man, but when I feel like when I fell in love with Alex is how he treated me, how I saw how he treated youth. He was a youth pastor, how he was with his friends. I could just tell how he was. We fall in love with that. But guys fall in love first with physical appearance, of our physical appearance, a lot of times. It matters. They need to be attracted to us, or they're not going to propose to us. Proverbs 5:18-19. A little bit uncomfortable verse. Let your fountain be blessed, and take pleasure in the wife of your youth. A loving doe and graceful deer. May her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be intoxicated with her love. Is my husband still intoxicated with my love? Do I want him? They want to be wanted. If we always say no to intimacy, they feel rejected, and they're not going to be intoxicated with us. They're going to fall out of love. I've heard it so many times. When she's not available for him in that, she cares about kids and babies and nothing else, you guys get further and further away from each other. And we've had that in our marriage. When I was pregnant, it was very hard for me. Everything made me sick. I threw up 24/7. And I had to really, really make sure we still had a little bit of intimacy as much as I could. Do not deprive your husband in the physical area he needs. Never, ever withhold intimacy to punish him or to ask for something. I better have a new car, or you ain't getting it. It happens. I've heard that. Older women who want to get a new house, or they don't want husband touching them. It's so unbiblical, and it's a sin. We never withhold intimacy to teach him a lesson. We resolve a conflict. We talk about it. We discuss it, but we never punish him by withholding intimacy because we are upset with something. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. And then dress to impress, like we talked about. Dress to impress, like we did while dating. Not every day, but we have to be presentable. We eat healthy. We look good for our husband. And most divorces happen because of infidelity. If he's fed at home, he will not be tempted to look anywhere else. Yes, there are moments where somebody gets addicted to pornography, or that's when you seek the ministers, you work on that. But if in a healthy marriage, if you have healthy intimacy, you will keep on loving each other, you will be faithful to each other, and you will have a good marriage. And like somebody asked me earlier, I do have another book that's really good to read with your husband. In Russian, it's «Музыка к простыней», and in English, it's a longer word. Let me get you guys. It's by Kevin Lemon, Sheet Music, Uncovering the Secrets of Sexual Intimacy in Marriage. And I can give you a full name if somebody wants it later. Things we cannot talk here, but we touched a little bit on last session. He talks really, really deeply in this book. Like, if you read it, he talks about how women can learn a pleasure. And we work together. We work together with our husbands. I know it's embarrassing. I know, like, when I was getting married, I did not know how we're gonna be talking, and I was so shy. I was 18 years old. But we talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more you learn, the more you're available, the more he wants to. And a good, loving husband wants to satisfy us. He will not be like, oh, forget it. No, loving husband, if you explain to him, and you tell him something doesn't work for you or something hurts, or there's all kinds of stuff. Once, after my first son, I had to go to the doctor. But there are things that can be done. And we do get back to our intimacy, and we do not ever deprive our husband. In the conclusion, before we have Q&A or our more discussions, overall, God intended marriage to be wonderful in every sphere. He's our best friend. If your husband is best friend, you are the luckiest woman alive. You can, if you can share with your husband everything, you don't need your friends. Yes, you can. You have friends. It's good to have. It's healthy to have friends. But if you can discuss anything with your husband, you are the luckiest woman alive. And if you're not still, if he's still not your best friend, work towards that. Make sure your husband is your best friend, and make sure you act so that he can call you his best friend. Because he has to be on both sides. He calls you best friend to his friends or co-workers, and you can tell your friends that he's my best friend. It works both ways. We can have a great godly marriage when we obey God's laws towards marriage and our roles in it. We support him. We believe in him. We submit to him as God wants us to. We love him. We respect him, we honor him. That's what, like we read all these verses, that's what God expects of us as a wife. And once in a while, maybe once a month, read Proverbs 31. It's a good reminder of how we should strive. Yes, I might never get there, but we strive. We want to be like that wife. We want a husband to trust in us. We are there for him. We are his soft place to land. Yeah? Our homes should be peaceful, a sacred place where we can rest in happiness and joy. We are so blessed when our husband cannot wait to come home from a trip, or when he wants to come home from work and he feels safe. He can just relax. And I heard it's a good tip, like a practical tip. by another woman who was teaching, and she said, when he comes home, for 30 minutes, do not ask him to do anything for you. Come, if you can, if you're home, hug him, kiss him, offer him dinner. If the dinner's still not ready, it's earlier, it's not dinner time yet, give him 30 minutes to be on his phone on his couch. Just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. If you have little kids, it's different. You need to hand him the baby, and he helps you. But if you are able to give him the 30 minutes to unwind from his work, from traffic, from everything he lived that day, we are blessed for that. And I'm like, that's a good I never thought of it. And then I start doing that. I'm like, just leave him alone. He has his favorite spot on the couch that's falling down already, because that's the one spot that he likes to sit. And and then I serve him dinner. We eat. We don't always eat as a family. We have church often, so we eat quickly. We go to church. But he needs to unwind, especially if we have church. You let him unwind, and then we go and he keeps serving, and we keep serving together. So if we can create that atmosphere in our home where our husband and kids want to be home, we are blessed, and we're doing our job. So yes, let's be those wives who create the atmosphere. It's up to us. It's up to, if we are cranky, the whole house will feel it. The husband will come home and he will feel the tension that we had with our kids, that we yelled. We are human, it's fine. It happens. It happens to me. Pick up my voice and my daughter. It happens all the time. But if we strive to, we work on it. We remind ourselves, hold on, that's not how I act. This is not right. God, forgive me, give me self-control. And we strive. We strive to create that good atmosphere, to be that excellent wife. We strive to be excellent wife. And we will try till day we die. If we are in God, we will work on ourselves until day we die. We're not going to become excellent wife, no. But we strive every day, and with God's help. If we seek Him, if we spend our time with Him, we get filled, we make ourselves happy. Also, physical ways to make ourselves happy. Take a bath. If you have a baby, tell your husband, here, please give me 30 minutes, maybe 40. Somebody likes longer bath. Make yourself a bath. Do a mask. Do bubbles or whatever. Take care of your soul, right? We have spirit, body, and soul. Soul is when we do things to make ourselves kind of like, oh, I'm relaxed. Yes, I'm relaxed. If you like reading a book, tell your husband you're going to a coffee shop for an hour to read a book by yourself, nobody tagging you, nobody's, I know it might be once a month, but if you need that, maybe time out with your girls, your friends, go once a month, go to a spa. We have these sauna places. We'll go with our friends from church once in every 3 months. Just go away with your friends. Go sauna, hot sauna. And you're going to come home refreshed. You're going to be ready to serve again. So these practical things do work. We take care of our spirit, spending time with God. We take care of our time alone if we need to. That's our soul. And our body. The better we eat, again, I know how moms eat. We eat leftovers. But if we try to take care of our body, we will feel better. Our spirit's going to feel better. Our soul's going to feel better if we take care of ourselves. So it's our responsibility to make ourselves happy. It's not our husband's responsibility. Yes, he can bring you flowers. Yes, he can bring you chocolates. He can book a vacation once a year. We love that. But everyday life, we are responsible of our own self. Also, our husbands are not responsible how spiritual we are. We will answer to God. Your husband can read Bible, he can preach, but if you're not, he's not responsible for you. And learn to love the Bible. If you don't know how to read the Bible, buy yourself one of the Bible study books and just go buy it. You open a Bible study, it shows you what verse to read and what that verse means, and you will fall in love with Bible. I didn't always love reading Bible. I'm honest with you guys. When kids were little, if I even opened the Bible once a week, that would be good at church. And that was wrong, and then I would feel frustrated. I would feel that something's not right. I'm always on needles. I'm always stressed. It's because I was not filled here. If God did not fill me, I'm just going to be like regular neighbor wife who fights with her husband. But if we're filled spiritually, it will show. The inner beauty will show when we are filled. And when we are in God-given place, our husbands will love and honor us. And we are those blessed wives. That's my little overview of everything we talked about. Does anybody have any testimonies of how you take care of yourself, or any questions, or maybe something else you guys do to make yourself fulfilled in all those areas, and then we can serve our husbands and our kids? Everybody's shy. I'm shy too. That's why I have a lot of notes. I go by notes a lot. But yeah, if we, when we are in the right place, our home will be in the right place. We do see a lot of broken families, and it is important, like if you have kids growing up, especially daughters, and boys too, like instill in them how his future wife should be treated, or how you treat your good husband. Like my daughter, I think, probably sick of me saying, like, I'm like, Anitachka, you gotta clean up. You have to be a good wife. You're gonna be a good wife one day. You're gonna have your own kids one day. Yeah, we teach our kids when we have our kids.
I actually have a question. Yeah. So, say our kids need they're ready for that conversation about like sex and like all the good stuff. Who is supposed to talk to the boys and the girls? Does it matter, or should it be mom to daughters and dad to
I don't think
son?
it matters. I don't think it matters, but we felt in our family more comfortable, Alex talking to Edward and me talking to Anita. That's how we decided we're gonna do. And I was so uncomfortable talking to her about it. At first, what we did with my daughter, I bought her a book about periods and growing up. When we read that book, she was more comfortable going to a little further. But she took it really hard, and she cried. When I told her, she cried. She's like, "No, I'll never get married. I'm adopting." She told me she's adopting. She was petrified. But yeah, now she knows. And I keep asking her, "Do you want to know anything more?" "No, I'm good." And I'll keep asking her until she is at the level where she wants to know more, and we'll talk about it. We do always talk about modesty. Like, Anitashka, your legs are so long now. Let's not wear that skirt to church anymore. Like, she grew up like really fast over summer. So I'm trying to teach her to be godly, because if we don't teach them now, then we're gonna be the wife that is not dressed properly, and our husbands, or we're not gonna. I know that some girls, by the way they dress, they don't attract the right people. So I'm trying to always tell her, like, attract. Yeah, no, but it's good. Like, I do know people who have only sons, and they're great husbands. Like, she raised them really good. They have 3 boys. They're both married, and she made them do everything. Like, she had them cook and clean, and so they're good husbands now for their wives. So yeah, all kudos to mama who can do that. Yeah. And when they and again, like, the biggest example is how we live with our husbands. They will hear, but they will see more. Yes, that quote. So we're TV in front of them. We're the live TV. They see how Mama and Tato acts. That's how they will take that into their marriage. They will bring that into their marriage.
I also wanted to mention that, like, my dad, he was very strict, the Slavic, the old generation. But one thing he did for me that really put things in a different perspective. One time he punished me for something I didn't do, and then he came back when he found out it wasn't me. He came back and apologized to me, and I told myself, I think I was like 14 or 15. I promised myself to never be ashamed to apologize to my kids, and I know that it really does help my relationship with my kids, because I do make mistakes. I can they are not feeling fooled. Like, oh, mom is, so like perfect, but she's not, because like she's hiding it. I don't want to hide it. So
That's really smart.
as long as we don't hide our imperfections, um, they will know the reality of the relationship with God, the husband, the kids. Their expectations aren't going to be like up here, and then once they get married, they're like disappointed. It's all your choice. You choose to be happy. You choose who you marry and what you're, like, how far you're going to go, to make the other person, you can't really make them happy, but, do everything and anything to help them. Yeah, to serve them. That's the right word.
No, it's very good. The forgiving part, asking
For forgiveness, that was one thing I heard a couple years ago, and I'm like, I need to do more of that. And then I heard another thing. When your kids ask you for forgiveness, you have to tell them you are forgiven.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that shows them kind of like God's love. Like if we forgive them and we say we're forgiven, then when they come to God and ask for forgiveness, they will know they're forgiven. So I start like with maybe a year or two, I start saying to them, you are forgiven. When she comes and asks me for forgiveness, I tell her, yes, you are forgiven.
And also showing mercy. Sometimes they get in huge trouble. Like we have boys and they do something together and they're like in big trouble. But so my husband would be talking to him like, okay, coming up with a punishment for them, right? And it's something huge, like no electronics for a month or this, or when they were younger, spanked. Anyways, we counted like how many spanks did you deserve?
Yeah.
And then we actually had them like speak up, and a lot of times they would say bigger number than I would, but I knew that when I looked into their eyes, like when my husband said, today I choose to show you mercy and I forgive you because I love you. Just because, not because you did something to make me feel softer, but I just don't want to punish you. So I just want you to know that, God forgave me, so I forgive you. And you are forgiven. We're going to start doing that. That's great.
Yeah. I just
We can start doing that, like, and because I read it somewhere, or heard it somewhere, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. Like, my favorite podcast is they're actually on YouTube. Focus on the family. There's marriage, there's parenting, everything. I love it. Like, you listen to it, and you're like, I know all this. I've heard it a million times, but you have to like refresh. Like everything we even talked today, yeah? We read the Bible. We know it's all there. It's no news. We're not going to give something that's not heard of. But we need to refresh ourselves. And this is where books come in. Podcasts, if we don't have time for books, we turn it on doing cooking, and it's playing in the background, and they're talking, and we're like, okay, I want to do this. Oh, I'm going to ask for forgiveness. Oh, I'm going to do this. And there you go. Our family gets refreshed. Something changes. Atmosphere changes. Working even on our hormones. Like we were discussing that with my ladies. Like a lot of times, our crankiness and stuff, it goes through the family. Yes, we can't control it, but we can work on ourselves, right? Like we can,
Or at least ask them, hey, can you be more gentle today?
Yes.
'Cause I'm not being
Yes.
my best self.
anything else? I think it's 4 o'clock already. I know we're over 4 or 7.
What about, I heard that intimacy in front of children, show love to each other, not like affection, but it's still intimacy. It's like you're kissing, you're hugging. How is it important in front of the children to show your affection to your
We do. We do. They might say ew. They might say ew, but they need to see that. I believe they need to see that. I honestly that with my parents. If I would see my parents hold hands, I was like, oh, that's nice. But it was very rare. That was Slavic. It was very different. I think it's okay. When Alex comes home and I kiss him in front of Anita or Edward, they know it's normal. Like, and we huggers, we hug in our family.
They actually feel safer when
They do.
parents kiss
Mhm.
and hug.
Yeah.
Because they know
I think there's
everything.
studies. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have small children any longer,
Mhm.
but yeah, we do no matter whoever is around.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. No, it's no shame to show affection to your husband. No. They need to see that because they will bring that to their family. They will treat their spouse, Yeah. I'm all for that. Hold hands in a car, let them see that you're holding hands. Or like we're talking and they interrupt, Alex or I will say, hold on, me and Tato were talking, let us finish. So they know that we two are more important than they are. Yes, we'll get to your question, but we were talking first. Let us finish what we're talking about. Or Anita, sometimes because she's home by herself now, Edward is gone so much, and she does not like us to have our alone time. And I had to explain to her, we don't go to dates often. Once a month or once in 3 months, if we get out, that's good. But when we do, she's like, can I come? Like, Anitachka, if we have to, be together. I explained to her. So then she's like, when you're gonna be dating your husband, you will do same thing. Yeah, you will have time alone with your husband. Yeah, like I already tell her that, this is how it's going to be in your marriage. You will have to spend time alone with your husband. So yeah, they learn. And I've learned so much after Edward. With Anita, I do a little bit different. More wisdom, yeah. But I feel like when kids know that we love each other, they feel safe. I know kids in good marriages, they act out less. They're not gonna be perfect, but they will act out less than the ones in school. They will act out less than kids who are from broken families. Like, it shocks me how many divorced. Anita will tell me at school her friends, and almost everybody are living in different houses. They're all divorced. Like, it's very sad. So she was talking to me about this one girl who is sick of going to 1 week one dad and 1 week to mom, and the poor child doesn't have a house. She has 2 houses. She has 2 bedrooms. She has 2 suitcases every time going back and forth. She doesn't have stability. So yeah, preserving and working on our marriage is so important for our kids. They will have healthy lives, and yes, show affection, go on dates, and let them know that mom and dad will come first. If we go on vacation, just 2 of us, that's okay. You will live. If God gives us life, you will go on vacations. You will go on more on vacations than we ever did. God bless you for that, but they need to understand that there are time for mom and dad. Or she does not like when we watch a movie together, just me and Alex. She's like, but I want to sit with you. Well, honey, this movie is not appropriate for you. Or maybe it is appropriate, but I'll watch with you this movie next time. But today I want to watch this movie with Tato. But you have to go to sleep. So yeah, we try to teach them how we put our marriage before them. There's balance in everything, And not that I even have a lot of time to watch movie with him. Like, he's gone so much. Like, he was gone like twice right now for Nicaragua within 2 months. And I'm like, I always can watch a movie with you. We're always together. But when Tato's home and we have a day off of, work and church and everything, we can do something together.
We learn and try.
Вот IVF, который вставляют, that's abortion. Focus on the family says it's abortion. I do know, yes, you will get pregnant. You will meet. They will meet. And it will abort. Because matka doesn't close, it will abort. So it is abortion. Spiralka. Zmeyka, spiralka, all kinds of. These things, I don't know, if it's probably hormonal. Shots, yes and no. Focus on the family does not give you yes or no. It's supposed to be a preventative, anything hormonal, but then you mess with your hormones. Like, by what we eat, we already mess up our hormones. By the milk and everything, we already mess up our hormones. So I personally wouldn't. Counting days, condoms, I mean, nobody likes that, but I know there's things that you can put inside for women. I've never tried that, but those are also preventative. Yes, you can. Doctor give you that. Yeah, all those things preventable. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. If you can handle it, yes. Of course, it's okay to use it. We believe yes. Yes. You can never connect. Yes. It's up to you. It's between you and God. You just have to know, гормоны ты будешь принимать. Потом, может быть, бывает, что я читала, что потом тяжело беременеть. У многих сильно сбиваются гормоны, и оно все фейк. Твое все тело фейк. Твои месячные это фейк. Они не настоящие. Поэтому лучше нет, я бы не делала себе, или я бы они свои не рекомендовала бы. It's your health. Yes, you can probably do it. It does not abort. They don't say it's aborts. Ну, это твое choice на твое тело, на твои гормоны. Да. И женский презерватив тоже есть. Тебе доктор вымеривает, и ты можешь сама вставлять. Если, например, мужчина не хочет делать, мужчина, и тебе надо что-то делать, ты идешь к доктору. It's called diagram. And there's different ones. I've never tried them. I don't know anybody who did, but there are those. Да, это перед тобой, да. Физически я думаю, что это ничего нет. Я знаю пару людей, которые имели, у нее были 3 C-section, она себе сделала, у нее муж пастор, они согласились, и они про это говорят, и им нормально.
Ну, насчет таких операций, я когда-то читала об этом, когда женщина перевязывает трубы, ну, там есть тоже по-разному есть, там, перевязать, перевязывать. Есть больше complications, чем мужчина делает подобные операции.
Ну, и я знаю, что женское стоит 10 раз больше, чем мужское. Да. Да. Ну, тоже, у женщин тоже, я много про это читала, тоже не reversible, когда у тебя вырезают, сейчас вырезают, потому что, если ты уже будешь что-то делать, я читала, что вырезают, потому что ovarian cancer начинается в трубах. Если ты вырезаешь трубы, у тебя less chance having ovarian cancer. I don't know that was mind-blowing for me. You know, even girls who have family history of cancer, especially ovarian cancer, when they're done with kids, they go and they cut the tubes out. Preventative. I mean, I know a lot of churches would, if they would hear this video, they would hate on me. But no, we believe it's between you. Again, sterilization is not abortion. It's preventative. You cut it out. Husband or wife cuts it out. It's between you, God, and husband. That's it. So if you want to save money on other things, and you have good insurance, you could do it. If your husband told you to do it, it's fine. You're free then completely. Never think about it. But it does happen. People still sometimes get pregnant somehow. So it depends. If God really wants you to have another child, you will. Let's just put it that way. Yes. Ну, без труб могут, да. Не знаю как, но бывает. He will, yes, he will. So yeah, anything, and I always refer people to Focus on the Family. They have good doctors, and they have a whole article on all these things. На спиральки, за все это, UADs. Можно имплантацию потом сделать. Если ты сильно хочешь, у тебя есть матка, тебе имплантацию можно, но уже не будет по-натуральному. Да. And it's good to read these, like, if you guys have questions, Google Christian websites. Don't go on a Christians. They will tell you some garbage. I always see good counseling, good Christian. Yeah, if you have questions about birth control, Google Christian sites, and it will explain. And the book that I said for intimacy and or any book, like I read Act of Marriage, Sacred Marriage. There's so many books out there. Да. О детях это молитва родителей, да. И can be, there's in Russian too. My mom even had one. И для половой жизни, ну, интимной жизни, хорошая книжка это музыка постелей. Простыней, простыней по-русски. Sheet music, uncovering the secrets of sexual intimacy in marriage. Kevin Lemon, Amazon, $15. Lehman, L-E-M-Man, Lehman. Она очень откровенная, она очень такая, про все, можно будет даже краснеть, ну там оно все объясняется. Музыка простыней, Лемон, Кевин Лемон. Не всем нравится, я тоже это читала, да. Ну, кому как, опять, перед тобой, Богом и Библией, мужем, все. Да. И мы любим говорить с Алексом, он ходил, когда учился в библейской школе, one professor told him, whatever book you read, 60% you can take, 40% you might not agree with, and that was somebody else's revelation, or even to the point of heresy. So, not every book you will like 100%. You might, some books I agree with everything, and some books you just like, Я не думаю. Это такие ревью пишут люди?
Нет, я вижу.
Ну, это, не знаю.
Это одна глава для иных возрастных категорий.
Она для всех. Она просто объясняет. Она объясняет, как женщины себя могут чувствовать хорошо, и как мужчины, что кому нужно, и что наше тело предназначено для чего. Ну, сдать можно, если что, можно сдать. Я не помню. Я столько книг читала, что я уже не помню. Но эту книгу мы советуем, даже когда мы делаем premarital, до свадьбы, мы тоже эту книгу советуем. Я не думаю, что она для молодых. Лучше, да. Ты узнаешь, да.